Hi, everyone joining in. Thank you for joining in. I'm Ridhii Paul. I'm working with the Hub. We're going to be doing design talks to build a large community for design and a nice, friendly little warm home for everybody to come join. Patrick here actually needs absolutely no introduction. He runs Design Wanted.
I want to thank you very much for the invitation. I discovered your community a few weeks ago, and I have to say you're doing an amazing job. So it's great to be here, and I thank you very much. Talking about myself, I can tell you that I started Design Wanted in 2015. And what I always say is that I'm not a designer. So I fell in love with design by chance. I was just talking with a friend almost 10 years ago. He told me about a design blog he was running. So he asked me for some support, and it was great to give him some marketing tips and help. And then actually I realized that I wanted to create something by myself, which was Design Wanted, born on Instagram in 2015.
So it's also a place for people to rise and channel their love for design as well as architecture through what you do for their brand identity, right?
Right. You know, it's a way to place yourself out there. You know,
Correct.
when you are not known, just starting, when you don't have money to get advertising, we are not here to just sell advertising. You know, we are here to listen to stories, because we are, again, not designers. I mean, the team is made of engineers, of marketing people, of economists, which are not related to design in a strict sense. And for us, it's really a way to learn. I love to learn. I'm very curious, and I love design. So I think that people can really get something by expressing themselves in a story. And then, of course, we collaborate with a lot of designers, with a lot of companies, with a lot of design events around the world. And most of the time when we start a dialogue with someone, with a designer or an artist, it's easier for us to put in touch these guys, these people here, you know, with our contacts out there. So a lot of times we practically create business opportunities with them.
So you're forming a nice little community for everybody that comes under your little care. So our next question for you is, a lot of work you feature has the concept of less is more. Can you talk a little bit more about clean design and minimalism?
That's a very good question. You know, I often speak with my team about minimalism, about less is more, and all these concepts that we all know very well. When it gets to less is more, in my opinion, you know, it doesn't equal minimalism. Less is more, in my opinion, as I see design. It's a way to give people just exactly what they need in a very good frame, you know? It's something where you don't try to reduce too much the things. It's not the love for only the detail. It's a love for what works, and the aesthetics is good. So it's really important for me when it gets to less is more, but not simpler. That designer thinks of the Bauhaus movement, the Bauhaus approach. It's really related to the function. Otherwise, we risk to see very I say too much essential, you know. When minimalism, I love it, but it's too minimal sometimes, you know. And it becomes more an exercise for the designer more than something that people might need, really.
What are the key points you look for in artists that you feature on stage?
Yeah, first of all, you know, I have to say that now there is an editorial team at Design Wanted. So there's an head of content who does all the selection and research with the team. And I have to say that I'm proud to have a very cool team looking for amazing projects around the world. And the point is, what we look for, first of all, is the originality of the project. So we try to find something different from what we already seen, of course. You see the innovation part. You try to understand what's bringing on the market, what's new thing is bringing on the market, the project. And the third point is always about the story, because it's exactly where we start from. We want to know who he is, the designer. We want to understand more about the creative process. So to us, what matters is always to understand what's the reason why behind the story. Of course, we start from the aesthetics because it's what we see, but then we get a lot of, you know, names from people who know us all around the world, and they tell us, you might talk about this guy or this architect or this designer because they have something interesting to share. So we always start from the story, you know. It's not just about the material of the product. It's not just about the color or the aesthetic. It's about the content that we can definitely share.
How does one get featured on your page?
There are many ways. Of course, nowadays we get a lot of submissions through the website. And that's the easiest way. You know, I can tell you, if you want to submit any project, you just write to editorial@designwanted.com, which is the easiest way, and all the submissions arrives to our. Otherwise, you know, to get featured on Design Wanted, of course, many times we get advices from friends of friends of friends, so people know what we do, what kind of work we met. This guy, I met this project. Some other times, you know, we collaborate with design events, and they tell us you might be interested in this project. So the easiest way, or you write straight to us, or the other way is that you know someone who knows us. If you want to be faster, because of course we receive a lot of messages and we check them all. We don't skip any message. We will check them all. We want to see everything that comes to our inbox, but you can even reach us personally, you know, receive a lot of messages from designers. I try, when I think they are aligned with our editorial plan, I send them to our editorial team. So you really have many touch points, but the email editorial is the fastest, or you can even add us on LinkedIn or Instagram or wherever you find more comfortable.
So asking you another question, what do you think is your message for, yes, I can hear you. What is your message for upcoming Indian artists and creators?
What I want to say, again, you know, we can use all the same words. In every person talking about success, about opportunities, about growth, we all use the same words, you know, because to describe what you need to do to step forward, we always use the same expressions. What actually makes the difference, and I want to tell this to Indian artists and designers and architects, is how much you believe in what you're doing, you know? And it's not about saying, I know I want to be an amazing architect, I want to be an amazing designer, I will do cool stuff. The point is not where you are okay and when you're smiling and everything is working. You need to prove yourself when things don't work. Because the hardest part is when you are down, when you are alone, when no one is supporting you. That's exactly the moment when you learn how to deal with stuff, how to deal with yourself, how to motivate yourself. So what I want to tell them is that they need to find the dream they are ready to fight for, but they need to test themselves every day. They need to wake up every single day, look at themselves in the mirror and say, are you ready to get a step forward today? And at night, they need to go to bed and say, what did you learn today? What did you do more? You know, I do this stuff every day. I try to learn every day something new. And this is about curiosity. You know, it's, again, a very common word, which works when you do it, not when you say, when you do it. So I think that what I want to tell them is just look around, be inspired by those who did it already. You can do it as well, you know? It's pretty easy. It's mathematics, you know. It's not something that nothing is impossible in that case. But it's really important to be pragmatic. You need to think of the next step, not of the moon. If you start to do the next step, and every day you do a little step ahead, then you can make things happen. You will find yourself in 1 year or 2 years at the point where you didn't think to get, you know, because it's something you need to move continuously. It's the rhythm that makes the difference. It's not the goal. You need to keep going every single day.
Thank you for that. It was so amazing to have you on, Patrick.
It's been a great pleasure. Thank you very much for inviting me.